There's a well-known legend about the two spells waxworks from the time of the French Revolution.
Susato? Susato? Which one? There were like 3 French revolutions that happened in succession.
Yes.
The public enjoy absurdity, monsieur.
Gotta worry about the French words. Nope, I'm gonna mess up the English word. Okay.
What's up, everybody? KBTV on the Sun, and welcome to the third case of the Great Ace Attorney 2. We are in the process of, I believe, presenting an autopsy report because there's a discrepancy between when the victim died on the report versus when rigor mortis actually happened when Tispel was there, which was like 3 or 4 hours later, which doesn't...
It's been 2 weeks. I've already forgotten half the details of this case. It'll be fun.
But Lewis, can you explain this discrepancy?
I didn't
No.
know.
I have that was. I don't think that was the right evidence.
Did I present the wrong one?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I did.
What are you talking about? That was a different timeline. Didn't happen.
Speaking
Different
of timelines, Lewis, you have to explain this discrepancy.
No, I did.
The killers. No, that I don't. The mass murder knows professor who was tried and found guilty. I think we need to.
Presented. Wait, you watched me present this.
Do you have to present the page itself?
I can't present the page itself.
I thought you went to a different piece of evidence in practice.
No, I picked the killer's autopsy report and it worked.
Okay.
I am confused.
Are you sure you're on the right dialogue?
Oh.
I didn't change anything, so...
No. That's the right piece of dialogue. No. It was the right piece of dialogue.
So why is it not working now? What the...
Maybe it's the one that says before the onset of rigor mortis.
That's so weird. It's so sorry. Before we recorded this, because it had been 2 weeks, I wasn't 100% sure where we left off. I actually tested to present it like evidence, and it worked. So now I'm really confused as to what just happened. Alright, hold on. It has to be the autopsy report because that has the date of when he died. So, like...
Okay.
The question is, did I do it wrong? Maybe it is the fourth statement. Hold on. Let me go back. I'm gonna try this again. My bad. We're gonna go back to the statement. I am glancing over at the guide now to be extra sure.
I mean, I guess this statement makes more sense.
We will see. I could have sworn I didn't switch dialogues when I did this, but... Alright, okay, it was on another dialogue. Madam Tispels. I have here an autopsy report that was filed 10 years ago now. It confirms the death of the professor following his execution at the gallows.
Naruhodo, why do you only wear one glove?
Because
why
it looks
not?
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And is that a problem?
I believe it is, because your testimony and a particular detail in the report completely contradicts one another. Maybe it doesn't look. Maybe the glove doesn't look good because he's wearing an arm guard on the other hand? I don't know.
French word?
Are you going to explain yourself, my Nipponese friend?
Give me
Happy
2
Olympics,
seconds.
everybody.
Wait, what?
Happy Olympics, everybody. They're in France.
Oh shoot, you're right. Well, really? That opening ceremony was something.
It was 5 hours long.
According to her testimony, Madame Tispels was creating her wax impression just before dawn. And at that time, rigor mortis had not yet set in. Am I correct so far, madam?
You are? Yes. As I said, the stiffening of the jaw is the first sign of vigor mortis, 2 or 3 hours after death. But the man's chin was limp, so he cannot have been dead for a long time.
But on the other hand, if you look at Dr. Seit's report, it quite clearly states the following. Death by hanging confirmed at midnight, 17th of June.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Dookie.
If the professor indeed died at midnight that day, then by the time you were sculpting his face, rigor mortis would have already have set in.
Yes, you are right. The chin, it would have been completely stiff.
In other words, this report is wrong.
Objection!
No coroner makes mistakes when recording the time of death. The very idea is absurd.
You're absurd.
Sir, people can lie. I don't know. I'm sitting
no
here.
one makes mistakes.
Me sitting here like, sir, you're in a courtroom. People lie in here all the time. What are you talking about?
In fact, sometimes you tell said people to say lies, sir. Sir.
That was Miles Edgeworth.
Well, apples don't fall far from the tree.
Wait, no, that's Mark Karma. Mark Karma has told his witnesses to lie before. Anyway, in that case, there's only one possible conclusion. The execution didn't actually take place at the stated time.
Impossible!
Damage! Rebel! Order! Yes?
I love how he acts like he gets shot in the chest.
Counsel, this is beyond folly. Not only do you indict the author of the report, Dr. Scythe, but you also implicate members of staff at Barclay Prison where the execution took place.
No, the mind!
Hey, they're none of my characters. Yay!
My learned friend appears to have overlooked one very crucial fact.
What fact?
The professor died that night. Without question.
I don't think we're denying that part,
Yeah, we
sir.
didn't dispute that.
He did. Of course he did.
I'm not disputing that, sir.
I moved the man's limp jaw with...
Wait, I want to read what it actually says.
I moved the man's limp jaws with my own hands. There was no...
I thought there was something really gruesome there.
There was no objection.
Yes, the professor died that night. But what if he didn't die at the gallows?
Didn't die at... Are you insane?
No!
What exactly are you suggesting did happen in that case?
It's almost impossible to believe, but it would explain the link between Dr. Scythe, the professor, and that one other person of interest. I have evidence that would explain exactly what I'm suggesting happened that night. I think we're presenting the newspaper?
Counsel, present the evidence at once.
Oh, right. So we also established that the newspaper article has an interesting signature on it.
Oh,
a
yeah,
matching
that's cool.
signature with Mr. Asman. I believe.
Yeah, that guy.
So I believe we're presenting this evidence because this shows that, hey, he rose from the grave. Oh no!
He approved this photo. He might have taken the photo even.
What happened that night is written very plainly in this newspaper article. Executed criminal returns in the dead of night at local cemetery.
You're suggesting it was a corpse? Coming back from the dead now?
Maybe?
Well, if this article is to be believed, yes. The professor, assumed dead following his execution, emerged from his grave and was killed again.
Objection!
Don't be a fool. That's simply a rumor published by the gutter press.
Can you be certain of that?
Are you serious? Are you serious right now, my love?
I am
He just
absolutely
went-
serious, sir.
He's just like, okay, can you prove the newspaper isn't trustworthy? He's just
No, he
like,
literally
"Wait."
just did the John Cena. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just-
The point is, as the article says, there was a witness to what happened.
My word, yes indeed.
My wee! The young man who stole into the cemetery by chance that night.
Objection!
course there was a witness. The story didn't write itself. But obviously the man made it all up.
Well, in any case, this was 10 years ago now. There would surely be no hope of finding him.
Sure about that.
Are you sure about that?
Do you guys not have eyes? Like, look at the photo. Look at the picture. It's
On the contrary, my lord, we all know this witness well.
What?
Are you suggesting, Counsel, that you've identified the person in question?
Do you not have eyes?
That you know who claims to have seen these utterly incredibly events take place?
I mean, he wears glasses.
I mean, there could be
Hey.
other people who wear glasses. Yes, my lord. In fact, you could say that he's right here, before my very eyes.
You will substantiate your latest claim now, then, Counsel. Who is the alleged witness of this staggering scene from the cemetery 10 years ago?
It was
Bruce
Iris.
Goodman.
It was Iris Wilson. Wait, wait, review scene. Oh! Me! Okay, didn't know that did that. I was like, what does this button
Oh
do?
god, I'm only 1 year younger than Drebber.
Take that!
Wait. I thought you were older than me, Final.
I hate people's ages in this game.
I thought I was the youngest one here.
I guess you aren't.
Okay, sorry.
Are we all? Can we just confirm? Are we all in our 30s? Is that all we gotta know?
Yep.
Yep, there we go. There we go. Having our
am the
midlife
age
crisis. Got it.
No, don't say that, because last time I said that when I was 14, and someone told me, well, you're not going to live very long, are you? And then I realized, like, after the facts, oh. Good news, I live past 28.
I'm very proud of you. We have all made it to age 30 plus. The man in question is Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Grabber?
Are you all right, Lewis?
Grabber?
I think
How many
Baroque's
times do I
losing.
have to yell? How many times do I have to yell this? Drebber?
Baroque is losing his mind over there.
The previous witness?
The special exhibit in the House of Horrors at Madame Tuspel's Museum of Maxwork recreates the decade-old scene in great detail. The condemned criminal emerging from the grave, and beside the tomb, a young man with a lantern stumbling upon a terrifying sight. And that young man is a 10-year younger Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Who still lost his eye or something at that point.
Yeah, you know, him losing his eye is unrelated to any of this, okay?
Order! Surely not, Consul.
Grabber was there. In Lowgate Cemetery.
Look at the picture.
What is all this talk about Mr. Drebber? Is the name significant?
Of course. Madame Tuspels doesn't know, does she? Yes.
No, I just got here.
Yes, it's extremely significant, madam. To your situation as well, in fact.
What situation?
The theft of the Professor Waxwork from your museum some days ago was perpetrated by the very same man.
Lord. That's-
We?
Oh no, here we go. But
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
what is the French word for donkey?
Googling this, hang on.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say Usagi. I know it's completely different. It's different language.
That's
it's not the
another
same
language.
animal.
What are you talking
But
about?
whatever.
Oh, ain't no way I can pronounce that. Anyway.
Oh no, what
We'll just say that the word for it is ain't no way. Just mash ain't no way together into one word.
But that would mean...
Madame Tuspels. It would appear you know the name, Enoch Drebber.
Wait.
Um,
Yes.
I get
Yes,
what you're
I know
going.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I get what you're going for, but it's just like, okay, we didn't need to
Yes.
pick one.
Extra
Pick a
clarification.
lane.
No,
Pick a
extra
lane.
clarification.
Oui, I know it. But from a long ago in the past.
What?
Oh my!
Good gracious.
Explain yourself. Tell us everything you know.
Yes, oui, of course.
This is going to be a thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Story time.
Don't you mean we?
The story of a young man and the terrible sight he witnessed in the cemetery 10 years ago. It was published in every single newspaper in London and throughout Great Britain. However, in all of the articles, the witness was simply described as a certain young man. No details were published about his identity. His name was never revealed. That is, apart from in one newspaper. The Daily Circus. It is the paper from which comes the article I have already shown the court.
You're saying that his full name was only publicized in that article?
Goodness me. Oh, yes, here it is. The university student who experienced this shocking event is Mr. Enoch Trevor, a disciple of science at the University of London and a resident of its student dorms.
Unbelievable.
When I read the article, I went to meet with the man. His discovery of the condemned criminal coming back to life in the cemetery in the dead of night would make a perfect exhibit for my House of Horrors, whether it was the truth or not.
I see. So you went to meet Mr. Trevor in order to scope a waxwork of the man, did you?
Exactamente. He was studying science at the University of London in those days. He was just a poor student. I paid him £5 to model for the waxwork. And since that time, it has been in my museum to recreate the scene of terror from the cemetery.
Huh.
Didn't Baroque and the other guy also go to the University of London?
Yes.
I think they're 1 year younger than Drebber, though, so he would have been upperclassman to them at the time.
So, 10 years ago, a young man appealed to the public about an extraordinary event he'd witnessed. A criminal had been put to death, re-emerging from his grave in the middle of the night. Am I real? Most times I think in these games, they only really talk about one school, one university. So that's why I said, I'm like, I actually don't remember if he was at another university, but honestly...
What are you talking about? Other schools don't exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Phoenix,
So
you
I
went to
just
college,
kinda was-
right? You went to
just
college
yeah.
with Larry and with Edgeworth and
You went to
with
college.
John
Which
Shu.
college? College.
Okay, they did specify he went to the Meiji University, though. But that is the only university in Japan, apparently.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
that's
say,
not-
can you name other universities? Can you
I
prove other universities exist?
I was talking about Phoenix, not no.
Oh.
But you know, not Naruhodo going to the Meiji University. It might have just been a university that happened to be in the Meiji era.
Yeah. But I think it actually is called Meiji University, but it's been like a while since we discussed that.
I know the name. It's probably a proper name, but I think that that's the joke. Is that
Yes.
it could be any university
Yes.
because it's the university in the Meiji era.
A criminal who had been put to death, re-emerging from his grave in the middle of the night. But the public treated his claim as nothing more than an amusing anecdote. I hate that word.
Anecdote.
Anecdote. I hate English. That was soon forgotten.
Don't worry, I'm a native English speaker and I hate it too.
10 years later, the same man steals a waxwork model of the executed criminal, ostensibly to use as a body double for the victim in the case we're discussing here today. Even though the waxwork's build is a poor match for the victim, and his face is obscured by a mask. So the question is, why would the man do such a thing? Which brings us to three days ago, when the birdcage crashed into the crystal tower.
You need some water there, my learned friend.
No, I'm good. I have water right next to me. It is fine.
All right. Okay. All right.
I have some in my sleeves.
What?
I can put anything out of there.
How does this not spill?
I'm not touching that one.
Ancient Japanese magic.
If the birdcage had in fact contained not the body of Mr. Asmund, but that same waxwork, the coroner from Scotland Yard who investigated, Dr. Sype, would have noticed immediately. And yet, she submitted this autopsy report for the victim, which the court has seen earlier. Why?
The waxwork was that of the professor. Is that what you're saying?
Dr. Sype put her name to a document confirming the death of a condemned criminal who was still alive. A criminal whose apparent resurrection was witnessed by Mr. Drebber. But that misconduct was a deadly secret the coroner would do anything to protect. Which is precisely why Mr. Drebber used that particular waxwork as the body double. Damage! We're really damaging Baroque today.
That actually makes, like, a ton of sense. Holy shit, Trevor. Like, I don't like you, but I applaud your cunning and tenacity there.
He is a genius. He lost that genius because he fibbed about that whole cemetery thing, honestly. Like, he lost his credit at the end. That doesn't change the fact he's a genius, though.
I wouldn't say he's a genius. He's just starting.
I have no clue what's going on. I'm just having a good time.
Same.
The court must summon Dr. Sype to the stand. The defense is determined to find out exactly how the coroner and Mr. Drebber are connected.
But according to the missive I received this morning through the prosecutor's office, Dr. Sype is unable to participate in these proceedings. Is that not the case?
She told us herself, didn't she? She said...
Lord Van Ziggs won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it. Lord Strongheart? The Pandora's box you were warned about is the professor's case. But please don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me.
You wanna bet? We're gonna get stuff.
Something happened on the night of that killer's execution 10 years ago. And surely nobody would want to get to the bottom of that more than Lord Van Ziggs.
Prosecution calls for the instructions in that missive to be scrapped.
Let's go!
But Lord Van Ziggs, the missive was issued from the Lord Chief Justice's office.
Objection!
Yeah, screw him.
Shut up!
The assigned prosecutor has the final say on policy in any particular trial. In other words, me.
Yes!
Let Enoch Drebber and Dr. Scythe both take the stand together.
Let's go!
I'm glad I could be of so much help.
Order! Very well, I will uphold your request. Bailiff, send a subpoena with immediate effect, addressed to Dr. Scythe of the Forensic Investigation Team. The woman is compelled to attend at Her Majesty's orders.
Alright then. Enoch Drebber and Dr. Scythe. If they weren't colluding with one another, this crime could never have been committed. I'm just a stone's throw away. I can feel it. The truth behind all of this is about to come out.
I feel it in my bones. More government secrets. Let's go!
When he said,
baby! Oh my god, I love this crew. What a crew.
When he said, I'm a stone's throw away, I thought, like, a stone was going to be thrown at him by Sholmes.
No, it would have been the bust of his head. Thank you for your attendance at such short notice, Dr. Scythe.
I'm disappointed in you, Lord Van Zeeks. You've completely betrayed the agreed policy of both Scotland Yard and the prosecutor's office.
Betrayal is not in my nature, as long as the truth isn't compromised. If it is, if there's even a hint of wrongdoing, then no matter whom it concerns or disgruntles, I will pursue the matter to the bitter end, as would any prosecutor worth his salt.
Dr. Scythe, you've betrayed the Senate. Van Zeeks, I am the Senate.
Dr. Mr. Oh, we're moving. Okay, Mr. Drebber. You took the victim's life by means of a machine that you constructed in your workshop. This is such a crew. And Dr. Scythe, as the investigating coroner, you were the first on the scene to examine the victim's body. It is the belief of the defense that you collaborated with each other and were both complicit in this crime. And where's your evidence?
We're getting to that.
At present, we have no definitive evidence, but we do have a very significant clue. What are you talking about? I'm talking, of course, about the waxwork. This model...
still
Yeah,
here.
that thing. It's still in the
still
middle of the
here.
court, you know.
It's just
What are
here
you talking
now.
about? That thing right in front of you. Like, literally right in front of you. You
Uh.
cannot miss it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just see the jurors.
Do you not have eyes?
There's nothing there.
How
Oh my
dare
God.
you insult my very hard-working waxwork? You foul madame, I am going to...
This model of the killer, known as the Professor, was sentenced to death 10 years ago. You don't need to tell me. I witnessed the man's execution with my own eyes and officially pronounced him dead.
Don't say it. What clue are you talking about? And it's like, yeah, the one right here. No, you don't need to tell me that. I know about that. Well, you clearly didn't.
That remains to be seen. Is that so? According to newspaper reports from the time, on the night following his execution, the killer came back to life. Don't waste my time. And the sole witness to that mysterious event was you, Mr. Drebber, wasn't it? If what you saw in the graveyard that night 10 years ago wasn't some chilling fiction but reality, it would make you privy to a very great secret of Dr. Scythe's. A secret so profound, it could compel the coroner to agree to collaborate in your evil scheme, in fact. Mr. Drebber, tell the court. Tell everyone the truth of what you saw that night in Lowgate Cemetery.
Okay, so time for a bunch of lies.
So he was the student who saw it.
You can see the resemblance actually caught you, with the man spells, I mean.
Surely he's not going to claim that it's really what he saw, especially not after all these years.
He was a research student at the University of London, was he?
And a bit too clever for his own good, if you ask me.
What an interesting twist. When at the time, not one person would take me seriously. Yet now here we are, 10 years later, and suddenly my story matters, and in a court of law too. Very well then, if everyone so wishes. Let's be frank. I'll tell you the truth of what happened that night. For what it's worth.
So, Mr. Drebber, your testimony, please, about the events of that night 10 years ago. You will tell the court exactly what you stumbled across in Lowgate Cemetery.
Yes, of course. As you wish.
Oh boy. Witness testimony! In the cemetery 10 years earlier. We're gonna have to listen to this in the next video, actually.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait until it's 10 years earlier to hear this.
Yeah.
I will finally share the story from 10 years ago. Actually, you can do it later. What do you mean later?
See y'all later, guys! Next video!